Hello and welcome back with us to Daytona this evening as we get set for this dual race, first dual race of the evening tonight. 25 laps here, 50% fuel cap, two sets of tires for these guys. If you watched qualifying earlier today, there will be no qualifying during this session. These guys will get roughly about 10 minutes to warm up out here, get a couple of laps in, try to figure out pit road entry, and they'll jump straight into gridding up and kicking this thing off. So for this race here, let's see, I don't believe the grid information is going to quite be ready yet, but I have it on hand here. Ricky in the number 11 will be starting off P1. P2 will be Chantel Pottle in the 05. Stephen Gall will be in third, number 25 there. Andrew Ziegler in that number 12 machine will start off in P4. Riley Pottle will start off in P5 in that number 99. P6 was supposed to be Austin Ziegler of the 09. P7, Chris Shriver in the number 14. And then P8 will be Christopher Mulkerin in the number 4. So that will be our grid lineup for this race. Let's take a look here. Not much has changed, but we will go ahead and scope out our track info here. This is Daytona. This is dual race number 1. You see the track temperature there. It's about 66 degrees currently. Cloudy, a little bit of a wind gust. Shouldn't affect anything here. Decent sized track here. Almost 2.5 miles in length, so it will be a lengthy one. These guys are still running with a 50% fuel cap in this one, so estimated to be about between 15 and 17 laps per tank of fuel. I imagine with this being a draft track, most of these guys are going to probably try and pit together, so whoever decides to come in first, the rest may also follow suit. We'll have to see how that plays out here tonight. But it should be an interesting race for sure. Short race, though, 25 laps, because this is technically not a regular season race. It is strictly just determining grid position for next week's main feature. So everyone that you see in this race tonight will be your inside lineup on the grid for next weekend's race, the full feature race of 50 laps at Daytona. And then our dual race number 2 that we have coming up immediately after this broadcast, that will contain all the participants for the outside line at the grid for next weekend's race. So basically, grid position is at stake here tonight in this battle. There are some bonus points being awarded, 10 points going to the first place finisher for both races, 5 going to second, 3 going to third, through 5th, I want to say, and then everybody after 5th will get 2 points. So those points will get added to their total next weekend at the completion of next weekend's race. So we'll go ahead and take that off here. Let's have a look around at the track here as we ride around with some of these guys currently as they get some warm-up laps in. We can see some of them have already entered the session here. We'll take a look and see. Got about 2 minutes left here of the warm-up practice. We'll shorten this grid here currently. As we look to get this one underway here soon in just about 2 minutes. It should be Should be a pretty exciting race. Not entirely sure on cautions. We do know that we know you guys are used to having a halfway stage in these races. However, because tonight's race is only 25 laps long, we will not have a halfway stage caution. Cautions here just take way too long. I guarantee you at the start of a caution you could probably go start cooking some food in the kitchen and be done before these guys have made it 2 laps in a caution. So just to give you an idea, this lengthy track here, 2.5 miles in configuration. So running behind a pace car at 45 to 50 miles an hour is not going to be quick here. So no halfway stage. We're hoping that we stay green flag the entire time. The grid has basically, for the truck series, been split in half with these 2 races. We're supposed to have 8 gridding in this race and the possibility of 8 gridding in dual race number 2. So whether everybody shows up or not is up in the air. But that's kind of what we're looking at there, as warm-up just ended. So now we will move into the gridding process here.
Good luck, everybody.
Should be an exciting race. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not going to lie to you. We talked about it a little bit on Thursday night during the Street Stock Series race. I had mentioned it then, but I have been looking forward to these Daytona Duels races all week long there as we look at the grid.
I'm mistaken. I thought we were supposed to have 8 in our duel.
Started up. We'll go ahead and get that grid for you on screen. Hide some of this stuff here so it's out of the way. So Ricky in the 11 machine again, he's going to be starting us off here. Chantel Pottle in that 05 machine will be starting in second. Stephen Gall in third. Andrew Ziegler in fourth. Riley Pottle in fifth position. Christian Shriver in sixth. And Chris Mulkerin in seventh. It looks like Austin Ziegler, the number 9 car, did not make it. So that is unfortunate. We will get your track map back up as these guys get out on the track and we look to get this one kicked off. We're going to switch things up just a bit here and give us kind of a mixed view. The cameraman does what he should do tonight. We should get the option here and the chance to focus on many of the drivers and not just be stuck on one. We do have Chris Shriver in this race tonight in that 14 machine, and we know how much our cameraman loves to focus on him. Hopefully, we'll mix that up a bit tonight and get a good equal view of a big majority of these drivers. As we get a look at Ricky in that 11 machine there. Chantel Pottle in that 05. As that pace truck should be coming off. You see the car numbers up there on the map, how slow they're moving. And that is what I was talking about just a minute ago. This is the exact reason we will not have a halfway stage for this race, because it would literally take these guys an eternity to make it 2 laps, 3 laps around under caution. Someone needs to show that pace car where the gas pedal is, because I'm almost certain he is not using it. Totally just kidding. We know he can't for safety reasons. Don't come at me. And the pace truck is off. And we are officially green at the sound of the engines there. Ricky trying to establish the lead early on in that 11 machine with Stephen Gall in the 25 right there behind him. Bumper to grill. Draft is important at this track. As you see, all of the drivers out on track currently have gone single file. That is because side draft will greatly lose your speed here. If you got a good run going and somebody behind you that can push you up past them, it will be beneficial. However, if you step out of that line and try to pass on the run that you currently have, you will quickly lose speed. Side draft is not your friend here. Definitely want to keep that inline draft that you see these guys have here. Single file formation, sticking it around. 25 of Stephen Gall there, keeping it extra close on Ricky, not letting him too far out of his sights. A couple of cars shifting in the formation now. Some of them I feel like testing if they have a chance at a good run here. Others may just be trying to hold it straight there on that yellow line. Can be a little difficult to do at times. As I said earlier, tire wear here will not be a big factor. 25 lap race, I don't see anyone taking tires. Most of these guys are going to be concerned with swooping in, getting fuel, and getting right back out there on the track so they don't lose too much position. And also try and keep up with the draft here. If you lose the draft here, your race is pretty much over, and the grid for the truck series is already not very large, so split that in half and chances of losing the draft are a lot stronger, and it will affect a lot here for sure. Two tracks you don't want to lose the draft at, that's here and that's Talladega. We've already been to Talladega a couple of times with this league over the season currently, and it's been a good race for sure, but kind of similar to what we're seeing here tonight. Most of these guys are just focusing on draft and surviving. Super speedways like this, wrecks can be very detrimental, so if you get into a mess early on and God forbid it's bad enough that you can't even limp your truck to pits, you got to have it towed. You're looking at a 3 minute and some change tow time, which, man, when you're waiting for it, it feels like an eternity. Honestly, I have had to do that before. It is not fun, and I'd take it a step as far as to say I would rather endure back-to-back cautions 5 times in a row here than I would have to take a tow. A tow is almost a guarantee that you're going a lap down, possibly even under caution lap. It's just not a good thing to have happen, that's for sure. As we look now, these guys have only been a handful of laps here. It's just such a huge track. Everybody keeping that single file formation for the most part there. Trying to keep that draft alive. Chantel Pottle in that 05, gaining a little on Stephen Gall. Stephen Gall keeping his grill right on the bumper of Ricky in that 11 machine. The other thing that sucks here at these draft tracks is being the person out front. Your fuel mileage is the worst out of everyone. These guys are drafting off of you and essentially it's taking a lot out of you if you're up there in the number 11's position right now. He's basically feeding fuel to the trucks behind him there. Still trying to keep pace and keep it moving, which he's doing a really good job at here so far. No one has tried to venture out from behind him and try to get a run on. We see a couple of the trucks there switching back and forth, and really I feel like that is most of them trying to anticipate the next one's move to stay in that draft line. 25 of Stephen Gall there, coming out a little wide, but gets himself right back in behind there. A little bit of a gap now between the top three here. And you can see that gap has already definitely closed up there between the 25 and the 11. Feel like Chantel Pottle in that 05 is she's testing the waters here, trying to see what coming out of that draft line may do for her, and also probably trying to see if anybody is going to bite the bait with her and stick it out. Try to get a good solid run. If she can get out from that draft like she just was and have somebody stay with her, which looks like Ziegler may have been up for it, but he dove back down time she did. If she can get somebody to bite that bait, as long as she has at least one other car behind her drafting, she could make a run and possibly be successful in it. Andrew Ziegler now's kind of lost his spot out of the pack there, and now we see Stephen Gall. He's going to take advantage as well. Seeing that Andrew Ziegler was out there by himself, he has decided to jump to the outside now, and these two are trying to work up a run here. They've got another that jumped in. Looks like the number 4 of Christopher Mulkerin. The three of them pushing, trying to give Stephen the oomph he needs to get out there past the 11 of Ricky. And it looks like he has done so already. A pretty solid run there by Stephen Gall in that 25 machine. Now all he's just got to hold on to it here, and these guys got to continue to draft off of him. And looks like there's already starting to be some clearance there. I don't know that Christopher Mulkerin got cut out there, so he is going to be getting that side draft off of Andrew Ziegler, and you can already see he's starting to fall back some there. He is going to have to try to find his way back in line, or he is going to lose the speed there. Nice little gap put out front there by Stephen Gall in that 25 machine. Ziegler coming out a little wide there. He's able to still keep it in behind Steven as they still running the draft. Ricky right behind him in that 11 machine, trying to tighten up the gap a little bit. Christopher Mulkerin is still side by side with Chantel Pottle in that 05. Looks like he's trying to stay just far enough to her right there that the side draft really isn't affecting him. However, they keep running like that, it will cause that whole group of cars to really lose speed significantly. These guys want to stand a chance at catching back up to these three. They're going to need to get single file, and they're going to need to figure out who's going to have to give up position to do so. And it looks like Chris Mulkerin now deciding he's going to be that guy and jump back there. And they are all back to drafting now as we ride along with the 12 of Andrew Ziegler, and then now we're hopping up front with Stephen Gall, currently in first place here. And we see everybody now has pretty much gone back to that single file formation, and we'll see how it pays off for them here. $17 laps to go in this one. Seen a couple of interesting runs already and some really good racing overall. I feel like a lot of these guys have been waiting on this all week, probably about as much as I have. Super speedways, they can be fun to call, but they can also be chaotic. So you see the 25 of Stephen Gall there hanging on to that yellow line. Kind of coming down just below it a little bit there coming out of the turn, but he's, man, I tell you, that run he had there was solid. Nice little gap now between the 25 and 12 of Andrew Ziegler. And although we do not have a stage caution in tonight's race, these guys will most likely should actually, probably if I had to guess, I would say within the next 5 laps or so, we should start seeing some green flag pit stops, maybe even sooner. They will not be able to do the full 25 laps on the tank of fuel that they currently have, so I'll look for the pit stop calls to start coming out here shortly. Pit speed here at Daytona is 60 miles an hour because it is a lengthy pit road entry. And also exit. We saw a couple of drivers, including the 83 of Joshua Fix, kind of having some issues earlier today in qualifying. Not coming all the way out to that blue commitment cone and line. Catching a penalty early on in qualifying and having to reset, basically. And that happens in the races as well. When the only time it does not really play a factor or affect anything is when the grid start happens and the pace car is leading them out onto the track. But every pit stop after that, and green flag pit stop included, they will have to drive all the way down pit exit to that blue commitment line before they merge back into the track.
Pitting this time, I think.
And there's our first call for a pit there by Andrew Ziegler in that 12 machine. No call from Stephen Gall yet in that 25.
25 will be pitting this time.
I stand corrected. Spoke it into existence
11
there.
pitting this time.
So we will start to see some of these guys peel off for a pit stop here. As the 25 of Steven drops down, 12 of Andrew Ziegler, and it looks like the 11 of Ricky. All dropping down. Chantel Pottle in that 05 machine, Chris Mulkerin in that 4, and Christian Shriver in that 14, all staying out for this one. Looks like they're going to try to run the tanks dry here. Oh, 4 of Christopher Mulkerin kind of going outside there. Not sure if that was his intention or if there was a little bit of contact there. I'll look at the event log. Nope, no contact.
Pit this time.
He just swung out that wide.
Pit this time.
And now those drivers will be coming in for a pit this time around. Currently taking the lead, Chantel Pottle in that 05. And oh, what a dive for the pits there. Excellent pit strategy. We are back with the 12 of Andrew Ziegler and the 25 of Stephen Gall, both back out on the track now, trying to play catch up with the 3 that were just pitting. Got some ground to make up here, but if they play their cards right, they could get back out in front.
I hope you got us, Ricky.
And that will
Yeah, I'm good.
make the battle for this win that much sweeter.
I was watching. I was hoping.
As they get caught up now. Those drivers coming off of pit road, getting ready to merge back out there. The 05 of Chantel Pottle is going to fit right in with the mix. Looks like these guys just got past her there. She hasn't quite had the chance to get back to full speed. Stephen Gall in that 25, tucking in tight behind Andrew Ziegler in that 12 machine there. Ricky hanging back a little bit, but still tightened up. As they make their way around, that draft is strong between those guys. They're going to try their best to get a good push right here. They make it past Chris Mulkerin, it looks like. And now it's a battle between Ziegler and Shriver as Ziegler pushes out just past him there. Solid run, and now those guys are back in the top 3 again. Excellent strategy there.
I was trying to push the shit out of you. I can't believe it worked.
Here the 25 of Stephen Gall there,
Trying not to spin you 12 around that corner.
surprising himself there in that maneuver.
You're good. It actually didn't mess me up at all.
I will say that is a solid maneuver. Definitely paid off in the end there as these guys are rapidly approaching on the 99 of Riley Pottle there. Keeping that 3-pack really solid. The draft is playing off huge for these guys right now. Just 9 laps to go in this one now. 9 laps at this track. If it were anywhere else, I would say we were close to concluding, but 9 laps here is a long time. There's a lot of room for passes, errors. So far, this has been a really interesting race. No cautions. I hope that nothing gets talked up here, but if things stay the way they currently are, we will not have another green flag pit stop. So these guys here in the top 3 can hold on to it. This will pretty much round out this race. Looking at the camera shot there from that far back, those guys look like they were almost sitting still, and they are not. They are running every bit. As a matter of fact, let me throw something up we haven't put up in a little while. Let's put that dashboard up there, show you just how fast these guys are running, and it really puts the draft into perspective here. See the different speeds there amongst the drivers. Andrew Ziegler in that 12 machine, getting him a nice little gap there between the 25 of Stephen Gall and himself. Stephen closing it up now. Is he preparing for something big here? Is he going to try to make another move like he made before? No matter how well these guys have been out here drafting off of each other, only one person can win this one. At least in this race anyway. We still have a whole nother race to go. A whole nother set of participants in that race as well. Just 6 laps to go now, this time around. Looks like the 99 of Riley Pottle there gonna drop in behind these guys since he's already a lap down, and he's gonna try and just keep pace here. Oh no! And I told you, when the wrecks happen here, they are massive.
Somebody was there.
Let's go back and see what happened there. As the 11 of Ricky jumps out there to the outside behind Stephen Gall there. These guys are rolling pretty steady here. Oh no, looks like Andrew Ziegler in the 12 tried to come up there maybe and getting a little bit airborne on the hood of the 11. I told you, man, when the wrecks happen here, they are nasty. Absolute nasty. Let's look at that one more time though. And then I promise we will get right back to the race. And like I said, we're not missing much here. These cautions are quite lengthy, so not really missing nothing. We will change the view up here a little bit though. Let's go with our our chase view here as we kind of watch what happened here, watch it unfold. And honestly, let's look at it from the 11 there, because I'm a little unsure on that one. I feel like it definitely looks like a racing incident here. Ricky's kind of holding his line there. The 12 kind of comes up just a little bit. Yeah, that one's difficult to tell. That's a hard one to call. I would definitely, if it were me, I would say that was a racing incident for sure. However, tonight's race, we aren't dealing with EOLs anyway, so this will just be a just a caution here.
Somebody was there.
And there's
Damn.
the...
Ricky, when I saw you come with me, I was hoping you would, and I had a smile on my face.
So that will start our
Appreciate the effort.
first caution of the evening.
Yeah, he's getting taken out.
And I do believe that that is going to give us a 3-lap shootout here. So
I know. Wasn't expecting that.
we'll see what happens if anyone comes in and pits, or if they stay out. Stephen Gall has managed to get back in that first place position here. I guess I have to retract my statement from earlier. I said the pace car only knew how to go 45 out here. Those guys are pushing closer to 70, a little over 70 at times. So apparently he does know how to go a little bit faster than 45 miles an hour. Give everybody a chance to get back out on the track here and get things lined up. I do apologize again, folks. This one is going to take a minute. This track is extremely large in size, and cautions are not quick here.
Checking up on the front.
Looks like the 4 of Chris Mulker in there was going to drop into pits. He may have caught some damage from the incident there with the 11 and the 12. Kind of ironic that those two got into each other there, considering they are literally one after the other in numbers. I think the only thing we are missing on the track tonight is a number 13, and we would have 11, 12, 13. Oh, and 14. Can't forget the 14 of Chris Schreiber there. As he is still rocking that Tom and Jerry scheme there. My hat's off to the guy for that one. That was probably one of my favorite cartoons, most favorite cartoons growing up. So shout out to the 14 of that Toyota that is being driven by Chris Schreiber. Also, while we are on a brief little
Hey,
caution,
Andrew, can you jump on Discord with me when this is over?
here for a minute.
Sure.
Also want to
Who was that?
give a shout out not only to the league here for putting all this stuff together and keeping some of the interesting action coming our way, but also want to take a moment to shout out VB Racing for helping make all this stuff possible. The partnership that PRL has with VB Racing has really come together to make this league everything that it is, somewhere that most of these guys want to be racing at. And we just want to shout them out for that. We appreciate it, making all of it possible. And we have just now completed a lap under caution here. This will most likely be the first and only caution, hopefully, unless grouping these guys back together winds up creating some chaos there. I can tell you with the 05 of Chantel Pottle being next in that lineup in second place and Chris Shriver being in third there, I would not be surprised if those two did not immediately find a way to push one another and try to get past that 25 machine of Stephen Gall there. Chantel Pottle has taken many opportunities, especially at these big open tracks like this, and she is usually, her success rate is pretty high. So whatever that 25 machine does, he is going to have to definitely batten down the hatches and hold on to it, because you can guarantee she is coming for it. And if she doesn't, that 14 of Chris Shriver right behind him will definitely be another one to watch. Really, honestly, the best method here that you know, if I were in their shoes, especially if you're the 14 of Shriver there, I see him getting in behind the 25 and trying to run it as long as he can until he sees an opportunity there. And Chris Mulkerin in that 4, he's probably going to do the same thing with Chantel, since he's already set up for that pretty much up there. You see him out there going back and forth a little bit, trying to make sure those tires are good and warm. Caution lap has caused the temperature of the tires to go down a little bit, and the pace truck is off, and this thing is about to be back green here. And there it is. 3 laps to go now, so this one will definitely be a shootout, as Stephen Gall in that 25 is putting a gap out there early on. Chantel Pottle is closing it, though, and we knew she would. That 14 of Shriver is trying to share some lane there with Chris Mulkerin in that 4. Little closeness going on there. Nothing as a result yet, but the gap has closed up there between the 25 of Stephen Gall and that 05 of Chantel Pottle. And she looks to put that grill right in his bumper there. Keep this thing rolling. Oh no, what was that? Looked like the 14 of Shriver got loose there. Shot down toward pit entry. Final lap now, white flag this time around. And it looks like we're going to have ourselves a close one here between the 4 of Chris Mulkerin and the 25 of Stephen Gall here this time around as they approach the finish line here. This one's going to be super close. Chantel Pottle getting in behind them there, but oh my goodness, a sideways finish to the race. The leaderboard said that Stephen Gall has taken it, but let's go and have a look. I really wish we had a camera right there at the finish line, but I will do my best to get you the best view possible here so we can try and see that one. You know what? Let's just err on the side of caution here. Let's use the chase here on the 25, and let's slow this thing down. So they are approaching the finish line here. 12 of Andrew Ziegler. Trying to get into the back of Stephen Gall there, getting a little sideways. It looks like Stephen overcorrected just a bit, and yeah, it was still just enough to push him out to that finish line and still take home that first place win. What a race. This one was exciting all the way to the finish.
I have no idea what happened there at the end or how I got turned, but what a finish.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, Stephen, agreed. As he goes to get himself some donuts in there. What a finish.
I don't, honestly, I don't remember. I just let it auto fuel. I just want to know, I want to know what Aaron's problem is with me, man. He's turned me in every single race the last 3 or 4 times, dude. What's the issue?
I don't think Aaron was running with us, was he?
No, I think he meant Andrew.
Okay, so I'm getting word here that there was a bit of a technical issue with the grid results here. Let me get the rest of this stuff off the screen here. So the grid results
Hey,
are showing.
Josh, right there when I did a burnout after everybody already crossed, it's trying to give me a black flag and give me a last. What's that all about? I had first right there. I just did a quick little burnout and it said end of session. Everything was done.
So to go off of what Stephen was just talking about there, the grid results did get a little jumbled up. iRacing had a glitch, and
You were saying something, Josh. I couldn't hear you. I just saw your thing pop up. But don't lose the win over something stupid like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry. I realized my mic was still muted. No, I saw that you were in first, and it's showing now that number 4 is, and it's showing you with a furled black flag, but I'm not understanding why. Let me look through this and see what the deal with that is.
So it gave me a black flag after I was already wrecked and stuff. Everybody was done, so I waited a second, and then I turned around, and I did like a little burnout, like a celebratory burnout, and then it gave me the black flag and kicked me off the screen before I could get to the start checker.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, no, you definitely won the race, man. I don't know why it's telling me I got first.
Yeah, no, like I said, I went to go do a celebratory burnout after we all crossed, and it gave me the black flag because I was driving backwards to the line. I don't know.
all right. So to basically sum up what happened there, iRacing experienced a little bit of a glitch there when Stephen Gall was trying to do his celebratory donuts. He is the winner of the race. iRacing just glitched out. I think he went too far up the track towards the finish line, and it took his lap back from him, which is why the results here show him a lap down. But Stephen Gall in that 25 machine is the winner of this race, and everybody else is just down a position lower. So Christopher Mulkerin finished in second, Andrew Ziegler finished in third, Chantel Pottle in fourth, Ricky in that 11 machine in fifth, Chris Shriver in sixth, and those are the final results. So we apologize for the confusion there. Did want to just take a minute to clear it up, but that is what happened with that. So, all right, guys. So that's going to do it for dual race number 1. We will be right back in about 30 minutes at 9:45 for dual race number 2, the start of dual race number 2. We'll have another seven participants in that race as well. So we are going to take we're going to end this broadcast and pick back up with dual race number 2 at 9:45. Don't miss it. It'll be another exciting race just like this one. And I have no doubt that those 7 drivers are also going to put on a show. So we thank you for joining us for this one, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one here in just a few short 30 minutes. See you then.